Hello and welcome back to the painting of Verthandi, where today we're going to work on some leather. Probably not going to finish it in one go, but we'll get as far as we can. Now, there's quite a lot of leather here, and I'm going to paint it in two different colors. A slightly cooler, more pale leather, and a warmer brown leather. I'm going to start with the cooler one. I'm going to start with this color here, leather brown, which will be highlighted up with bone white. And I'm going to start doing the scabbards here for the scabbard for the dagger here. It's going to be this color. Also the scabbard for the sword, which I actually tested it out on the back of the scabbard off camera just to make sure that I like the color. And oh, the paint was a bit runny there. Oh well. We can make it work. And the cross strapping here on the sheath for the dagger will be painted over later in another color. It's just a base coat, very thin down, so that's going to need some time to dry and then get a second coat. And for variety, I'm going to do the straps on the inside of the shield this color as well. Now you can see that I've painted the bits of skin here on the lower arm and the hand. Pretty much the same way as I painted all the skin. And I gave the inside of the shield just a very dark brownish green. I'm not going to do much with that because it's going to be hidden completely, as are these straps. These details are just going to be rather roughly painted in. And I'm reaching for the scabbard here, which you can see I've base coated one side of it, the inside. There's a spot. So. And now I need to turn it around and paint this side. And I'm just going to blob this on because it's so thin. And there's no risk of hitting anything else. I'm putting this aside to dry. Let's go back to, oops, a bit too much paint in the brush there. We'll simply apply a few coats here until we get decent coverage. Now, the two browns I'm going to use are called leather brown and beastie brown. They're rather close to each other. The beastie brown is a bit more brown, well, a bit darker. And as I said, I'm going to lighten that with yellows instead of, or I don't know if I said, but I am going to lighten it with yellows instead of the sort of off-white color that this one is going to get. And hopefully that will give a different effect, a different enough look to it that you can tell them apart. And then the other sort of, I do want the boots down here to be one of these leather colors, but I'm not going to paint, I'm not sure which one. I'm not going to paint it now because I'm holding it by the boots. So that would not be practical. Anyway, I'm not sure how many more base coats. I thinned this down quite a lot apparently. So I'll cut here and come back when I'm ready for the first highlights. And we're back. I mixed a slightly paler shade of this and I'm going to try it out here first just to see if it works. And I'm highlighting this very simply and roughly, just to, like I said, nobody's ever going to see this. Just make sure it works. I think this video will have time to delve into at least laying the base coat of the next leather color. And here I'm covering most of the surface of the scabbard. I'm leaving a little bit of the base color close to the cross straps to provide some shading, and that's all. And yeah, the scabbard, you're not going to see that in this video anymore, I'm afraid, because I determined that I'm going to have to paint that scabbard, the sword scabbard, like painting one side of it and then giving it a varnish. And oh, by the way, now I've mixed a second highlight while I was talking, and leave that varnish to dry, and then come in and paint the second side. Well, a little bit much. I really wanted just to catch the edge. We'll do that in this highlight. We're moving very quickly here. So this is a very small area. It's not going to catch the eye much, so I'm just going to give it final edge highlights. And yeah, I think that'll be good enough. And here, maybe just catch the tops here. Dot. Dot. Now there's really supposed to be metal studs in here. You know what, just for the heck of it, medium dark gray here, cold gray, and got some rubbish on that cap. Let me grab a little of that gray, and we'll dot in a little gray there, in case anybody ever looks down the inside of her shield. There's something kind of metallic and reflective there. I put in a little reflection dot of white. I think the shield is done. Well, the inside. The outside of the shield is going to be the most complex part of the whole. You see, no point in painting those straps very thoroughly. Perhaps a little bit more, because now I see the front edge of those straps. Yeah, they're going to be visible. I might want to go back to the base color here and paint in this area here slightly. Where was I? Oh, spilled some on the green. It just needs to pass a casual inspection. It's... yeah, I think that looks Okay, and go back to highlighting this strap and this one so that it's different from the background, and quickly mix in an extreme highlight. That's good enough. Well, yeah, I was saying that the outside of the shield, because it is going to have a green background, and then this whole device, the dragon and the curlicues of various kinds, are going to be painted a non-metallic metal, bronze or gold sort of look, which will be extremely time consuming to get right. But I think yeah, we can leave that for now. I might touch up, what I'm going to do with inside of the shield is I'm going to touch up this green, perhaps make it a bit more solid instead of so blotchy, and then I'm going to give the inside, the whole inside here, a matte varnish, not gloss, but matte, because it's going to, again, going to be towards the inside. I'm not going to be touching it very much. It's just some basic protection. And the rim here, you see, is connected to the decoration on the front, so that's going to be the base color of the NMM gold, or maybe a little highlight along the top here. But let me mix up or prepare the next leather color, Beastie Brown, and I'll be right back. All right, time to start applying the next shade of brown, the Beastie Brown. Let's see. So, as you notice, I've applied a new coat of primer to these parts as well, and you can also see that I've thinned down this color quite a lot because I don't want it to be a really, really thick coat. Now this is going to take a little longer because there's more parts that are covered by this color. You can see I'm going right up to the border of this brown liner I've applied previously. I'm thinking leaving a little bit more of it on the underside. Now the hilt of the dagger I'm not touching now because that's going to be yet another color. I think I'm going to do the same color as either the greaves or the furs. I haven't quite decided yet which will look better. But this strap is getting this color. I gotta be careful not to touch the already painted areas here. Can you even see? Oh, you couldn't even see what I was doing. And also there's a slight area here. There is actually a second strap holding the dagger in place, which is mostly covered by these furs, but it should get a little bit of this color. And you can tell it's there because there's like a ridge in the sculpt, which would seem really weird if that was just her skin. And well, when I tried to figure out what that ridge indicated, then logic dictated that, well, it could be a second strap holding this dagger sheath in place. That would make some sort of sense, I think. And underneath here is gets and this thing here needs to be covered. We'll just have to see when this first base coat is done, how it looks. And this strap, again, I've sort of lost the Witty Badger, not sure. Now there's a big nasty blob of a dark paint here. I could maybe cover that up a little bit. It's not gonna matter because you see this hole here, right down here. This is where the sword scabbard fits in. It's gonna hang across this stuff and be covering some of it. So you don't need to be that cautious with it. And now I think, well, the vambrace is obviously this color, all of it. And it has some lacing on the inside of it, which is showing in front here. I'll eventually paint that some, I don't know, string color, some pale color. And that's it for the first base coat. Has it dried? Yeah. I can start going in with a second. No, that's a bit much paint in the brush. Not covering a whole lot more, is it? This paint is being unusually translucent on me. Oh, here's something I forgot to paint. Just gonna grab a little bit of paint in the tip of my brush and paint these. Can you see what I'm doing? No. These crossed little strings on the dagger sheath. They need to be this color, I think. Okay. Well, as you can tell, this is a different. I mean, the leather brown was kind of, to me, it had some overtones of ivory already in it. So adding the bone white was logical. This brown, the beastie brown, has more kind of an orange overtone or yellow. So that's why I plan to try lightening it with yellow in the first place, just to see. And we'll see how that works out. Again, kind of winging it here. Well, I have tried lightening this color with yellow before, and it's worked out reasonably well. So, if past experience is any guide, this should work. Oops. See, now I'd not allowed the first coat to dry properly, so when I painted over this, again, I just sort of moved the previous layer of paint around, which was bad. Bad Dakian. But we'll fix it. Right. Now, I'm pretty much done with the base coat here. I can there's a few places, the high spots here, which will need more coats to give a fully covering smooth coat. But we're pretty much done here with the base coat, and I think I'm almost at 20 minutes very soon on this video. So there was really no time to get into the highlights here. This is going to be a two-parter. I'm going to keep painting, but I'll cut the video here and it will be uploaded as two separate videos. So, until part 2 rolls around, this is Dakian, signing off.